Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the series My Scholarship Story. So this is a series where we interview scholars who have won prestigious scholarships. They get to tell us about their story, how they applied and how they won this scholarship. They get to give us important tips, and these tips are definitely going to be useful to our viewers and to help them apply and get similar scholarships. So in this episode, we are going to be talking with one of the prestigious scholarship winners, and this is the person of Yvonne, and we're so lucky to have her with us in this episode. We're not going to waste time, and we're just going to go straight into it, and let's get to know her and learn about her story. And I believe this is definitely going to motivate a lot of persons, and keep the fire burning and keep applying to those scholarships. And definitely we're all going to win and get to the top. So we can see the beautiful lady right for us, and let's get to know you. Can you briefly introduce yourself and tell us about yourself?
Oh, awesome. Thank you for the introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Yvonne Okoro. I'm currently a master's student in the United States of America. I also am a writer. I have published like 2 books.
Wow.
I also have a YouTube channel where I talk about my life and just my experiences, and also share tips for anybody who's interested in bettering their lives. I'm a Nigerian, actually. I'm also a communications professional. That's it about me.
Wow, that is really interesting, and it's nice to have you here with us, Bonnie. Can you tell us, how does it feel to be studying in the US and also getting funding as a teaching assistant?
Yeah, it feels great, to be honest, having to be here studying for my master's, because for me, I always knew that I didn't want to do my master's in Nigeria. So first of all, it was me clearly knowing that I do not want it. So I never chased it. And at first I was trying to get to the UK, and even though I was supposed to be there in 2020 for my master's, COVID happened. And I was like, oh, how about I just try the US? And I did the US. So it feels great realizing that I'm here, I'm actually studying, and I get to work and also pay my fees, right? Because studying here is expensive. And so what makes it great is the fact that I have a graduate assistantship where I'm able to work with a professor on campus for 20 hours per week. Wow. I get paid at the end of the month, and that way I'm able to pay my fees, pay my rent, and just all the tiny bills that I have to sort. So it feels great just being in a different learning environment.
Yeah.
And America is the multiculturalism here is so big. So it's
Yeah, and it's the dream of a lot of scholars. Most everyone wants to go to the US or to Canada to study and fulfill their dreams. So it is really interesting. Can you tell us the name of the university that you're currently studying and also working as a teaching assistant?
Yeah, so I currently study at Texas Tech University, and I'm studying for a master's in communications. It's actually in Lubbock, so it's a university in Texas, if you get.
Okay, that is super interesting. So I have some questions with me, and I believe these questions are quite important and would help the audience to understand your story and get important points about your story, and that will also help them to achieve theirs. So the next question right here is, how many universities or scholarships did you apply to before you got this and went to the US?
Okay, that's an awesome question, to be honest, because so when I decided that I wanted to now do my master's, right? And so in 2020, I decided to try the UK, and I'd applied to Chevening, and I applied to Commonwealth, and I applied to MasterCard. I was writing essays back to back those times, right? And I got on reserved for Commonwealth, right? COVID happened, and they couldn't fund the number of people that they would have. If COVID didn't happen, I would have been in the UK. And so and I interviewed with Chevening, right? It was difficult having to even get your essay passed through the first stage and then interviewing, now. So
of course.
It was really hard. And so when I didn't get it, I felt like so heartbroken, you know, and same thing like MasterCard and all that. So when I felt like, okay, this whole UK thing wasn't balancing and COVID happened in 2021, which was last year, I was like, oh, how about I just try the US, right? Because to a large extent, I also have loved the US. I just felt that, you know, UK gives more scholarships. So if you just like get a scholarship, you go to the UK.
Yeah.
With the US, like you need to have your money, and like, or you also no, like UK gives more scholarship. Like they have bodies that give this scholarship because the university.
There are more fully funded scholarships in the UK.
Yes. So I was like, okay, let me try the US. And then I decided to try the US only because a friend did. And so the friend applied and he got a graduate assistantship. That was the first time ever that I was getting to know more about it. I was like, okay, what is this? So I went on my own research spree, and I was like, because this is my friend, we always apply for everything together. We interviewed for achievement together, applied to everything. So I was like,
and she didn't tell you she was applying to the US.
He told me he was applying to the US.
Okay.
So when he got it, I was like, is this how you want to leave me in the trenches? No.
Oh, no way.
No. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start my research. And then I did start my research, but I just wasn't sure what school, because there are lots of schools in the US, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to apply to his own school. So I applied to his school. Then I applied to Kent State University in Ohio. Then what made it even so real for me was like when I reached out, there was this professor that I spoke to in South Alabama, and then the professor said he liked my trajectory, and then he was like, oh, he's gonna give me an assistantship and this and that. And so I needed to go write my IELTS. I paid for my IELTS today. I went to write it the next Saturday. Like it was all that fast, you know.
Wow.
And then boom, out of the blues, I just found my current university by talking to someone one day. He was like in Texas A&M, or he was trying to apply to Texas A&M. And so I went, I was like, which one is Texas A&M? And then I checked, and then results also showed for my university. So I checked for my university, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. And so I reached out to the professor and this and that and that and that and that and that.
You definitely did not miss the shot. I think it was a nice shot.
Yes,
yeah.
God was on my side.
Yeah, of course, God was on your side. Okay, before we continue with the questions, you can subscribe to Ronnie's YouTube. The link is going to be in the description, and you can also see it on the screen. Just follow Ronnie Okoro. That is her YouTube channel. So subscribe to the channel, and you can get more gist, and at least you get to see this beautiful face every time, right?
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. And we go to the next question. Did you apply for admission and scholarship separately, or you just had to apply for admission and you got the teaching assistantship also?
Okay, so this is one question that a lot of people also ask for my YouTube videos, like when they just like watch my videos. So I say that it depends on the university. Some universities don't need you to like submit a different application to get a graduate assistantship, and some university requires that you do. They even have a form that you have to fill, right? So personally, my university didn't require that I did a separate application, right? I only just needed to have a chat with the chairperson of my department to say that, oh, I'm going to need an assistantship, right? But then some universities, you have to like do that. And that's why I always say that before you apply to university, like it's best that you reach out to the department chair, so that way you can familiarize yourself. In case they don't require you to do like a different application, at least they can, the person can be like, oh, I've had a chat with this person before, and this person actually like hinted that they would want an assistantship.
At least they've seen your name, they've seen your email, and like you're more familiar with them. Yeah. Okay. So if I got you correctly, you had to message the chairperson for the department. Did you also send a cold email to a professor or your supervisor, someone that's going to supervise you in terms of your application process?
So I did that when I was applying to Canada, right? I was like sending cold emails to professors, but I didn't do that for the US.
Okay.
Yes.
So it means you never sent a cold email. So
No.
yeah. Okay,
I
that is
only
cool.
just send an email, like just saying that to the chairperson,
Yeah,
saying that, oh, I want to like apply to the department and all that.
Yeah, like you apply to the department and you're interested in the teaching assistantship position.
Yes.
Yeah, super.
Okay. I
Okay.
mean, I just call it graduate assistantship in general.
Okay. Yeah, graduate assistantship,
so
teaching assistantship.
Which one they want to do the...
Yeah, I think they're almost the same thing, right?
They're different.
Almost. Yeah, they differ though, but
yeah.
You get paid anyway, right? For both.
That's it.
Yeah, that is the point. Yeah, okay. So at this point, let's get to know the step-by-step procedure of what you did and how you applied to the university and everything. Let's just get a step-by-step procedure, if it's possible, right?
Yeah. So the first thing I did was deciding, like I said, that I wanted to go do my master's now, and so like that was the first thing. The second thing was searching for universities, right? At my time, I didn't know better, so now I'll mix my answers with like better ways to do it. You get?
Sure.
So like you just like say, okay, say I want to have a master's in communications, right? I would like go to Google and say like master's in communications, then I say USA in front of it, right? And so it will show me like different universities that offer like masters in communication. And that way I can start searching like the different universities and going to their websites and seeing like, oh, who's the chairperson here? Who can I reach out to? And all of that, right? And then when you're done with that, and I say it's best to do that before you apply, because these applications require fees. So you have to pay like $70, $75. Some schools even charge you $100 for international students. So like, yes, for application fees. And some schools also do waivers.
Yeah,
so like
there are a lot of waivers.
Their events, if you attend their events or you send an email, like they can waive your application fee. I didn't know those things at the time, to be honest. I didn't know those things at the time. So after doing that, and you say, okay, I found this university that I want, then I'm going to like look at the website and pick the email of the chairperson. And then when I pick the email of the chairperson, then you can email the person and say, that's exactly what I did. Oh, my name is Yvonne. I am a graduate of this. I have worked in this industry. I am at a point where I intend to further my education, and I'm interested in this university for whatever reason, I'm writing to find out if the department offers a graduate assistantship, and all that. And then you type that thing. That email, I forwarded it to so many people like that, my friends who wanted it. And so like you send the email. Sometimes you don't get a response. Sometimes you get a response. Yeah. But we move, even if you don't get a response. Like, you're not going to sit down there and be crying. You move. Yeah. And then that's how like I did. And then when you get a response and it's positive, you just need 1 yes, and it's positive, then you can now go ahead and apply to the university. But applying doesn't even guarantee that you're going to get it. If you get, like, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get admission or you're going to get your assistantship. It's just the grace of God. And then like you get it, and then that's it. Like when you get it, that's it, and you get the graduate assistantship, and then your school gives you your I-20, I think that's what it's called. Then your school gives you your I-20, then you show proof of funds, and then you go fix an interview date, and then you interview and you get a visa, and you leave Nigeria and you go study for your master's.
Okay, nice. So from what I can understand, it's basically applying for admission. Yeah. So for your case, was there an application fee?
Yes.
For the University of Texas Tech?
Yes, there was an application fee. I think I paid $70 when I applied. And the thing is, like, when you're applying to schools, you also know that you're going to spend money, time, and put in effort.
Exactly. So sometimes not always allow the application fee to be an hindrance. You can apply to some schools without application fee. But then if you see a course and you really feel like you are really eligible for that course in that university and there's an application fee, you can reach out to the school to ask for a waiver. But if it's not forthcoming, you can as well apply to that and just try and raise the application fee funds and pay. And it can be your success point, right?
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
if you don't get it, you move on. Like, it will hurt. You can
Yeah,
cry.
sure.
Because I know, like, when you change your naira to dollars and all
Yeah,
that thing
it's a
is
lot.
expensive,
It's a
then they
lot.
don't like give you admission. Eh?
It's a lot. Yeah. But then, yeah, you shouldn't just look for all schools with no application fee. You can also, like you had to pay, right? And you're in the US. So sometimes you
Yeah,
just have
I
to pay.
paid to all the schools I applied to, actually.
Wow. Well, let's not go into how much you paid in total.
It's okay.
Okay, I think you already mentioned IATS, so I wanted to ask you if you wrote IATS, and what other documents did you submit for the admission process?
Okay, so I submitted my IELTS, I submitted my transcript, like an unofficial copy of my transcript. Then I submitted my university degree. Then I submitted my passport. And then I submitted my CV or my resume. And then I submitted statement of purpose, or what some people call personal statements.
Yeah, SOP.
Yes. And then I submitted a portfolio proof. So, like, some courses that you would want to go for would ask you for a proof of portfolio.
Wow. Okay. So I believe those who are interested in Texas Tech University in the US, they have an upper hand because they have you to tell them about all this. And for those interested in other universities in the US or around the world, there are still a lot of tips to come from Bonnie. And yeah, just stay tuned and let's get it going. So I'm going to ask you the next question, and this basically has to do with you advising us, everybody, right? So what is your advice or tips to the viewers who wants to study in the USA?
Okay, my honest advice would be to first, like, and I think I said it before, like, realize that it will cost you money, time, and effort, right? Because money, because you pay, time and effort because you put in time, and you put in the work, like writing your essays, reaching out to these schools, doing your research, and also, like, just having to have a strong mind, like, so that when you start getting the L's or the rejections, like, you know that that's not the end, right? You just only need one yes. So even if you get like 1,000 no's, if you get one yes, you're good to go. So I think that would be my honest advice. My second advice is, don't, like, apply to schools in the US. And I say the US very specifically because, like, too often, like, people use school as a jackpot process, right? And you know what jackpot means. I'm sorry if you don't know.
Okay, they'll find out. They can use Google. Just Google it. What is jackpot?
Okay, so if you apply to the US and you're like, oh, jackpot, you have to be like, rethink your process, because the US is, like, hard for jackpot-ish. And my third advice would be, like, and that's one thing I wish I knew when I was coming, if you're applying to the US, apply to a STEM course, because you can get 3 years of OPT, optional practical training. So you have 3 years to work after your training, after your master's. Or if you do, like, a non-STEM, like I'm doing, you have only 1 year. So I would say that you should look for a STEM course that you can apply to.
Wow, that's.
And then I think those are my major advice.
Yeah, I think that's wunderbar. That's what we say in Germany. So that is really wonderful. And for those who are interested in the US, they've gotten a lot of tips. And if we can still get more, and for those who are looking to study in other places, or those who really want to achieve their dreams of studying abroad, maybe not particularly in the US, or just studying abroad, do you still have anything, or can we still get more?
Yeah, so for those who want to study abroad, I will always say, like, make sure that you gather as much information, do a lot of research, right? It's just like recently, someone reached out to me from my YouTube saying that he was going to apply to Thailand. And I'm like, why Thailand? Like, studying abroad is not just by leaving Nigeria. It's not just by leaving Nigeria or leaving your home country.
Yeah.
Like, you want to go get you want to go where you can get the best education. You want to go where you can have great connections.
Yeah.
You want to go where you're open to more opportunities, right? And so my advice would be like, make sure that you know your why, like know your why clearly about why you're doing that or why you're applying abroad, wherever it would be, right? And my other advice would be like, be ready to actually like read, because when we're in Nigeria, like they'll be saying that thing that, oh, if Nigerians go abroad, like they will just kill the syllabus, like they will have great grades. But I kid you not, the first few weeks of my time here, the first few months actually, I was asking myself, I was like, Yvonne, what's going on with your
Am I in
brain? I'm
Nigeria?
telling you, you can relate.
Yeah, sure.
So be ready to realize that you question a lot of like your learning patterns, right? Or like just certain things that you're familiar with as regards learning. So be ready to adapt anywhere, whether it's in the US, in the UK, in Germany, like anywhere. Be ready to adapt. I think that would be my major advice. Anywhere.
Yeah, I think it was wonderful. Thank you very much, Ronnie, for your time and for those wonderful tips. I can see a lot of persons have been writing and jotting down, and they've gotten a lot from this. And yeah, that is how she got her graduate assistantship position and studying in the US. And a big thank you to you for taking our time to be in this series, My Scholarship Story. We've gotten your story, and I can say it is really interesting. And I believe it has motivated a lot of persons to continue their dream, to keep pursuing their dream to study abroad. And yeah, like you've said, not just studying abroad, but you should know your why. So thank you very much once again. And yeah, this will be a bye for now. And I hope to see you some other times, maybe in this channel or maybe in your channel. And do not forget to subscribe to her channel. The link is in the description, and you can also see it on the screen. Yeah, she got a lot of tips. Yeah, tell them to subscribe to your channel, right?
Yeah, guys, subscribe to my channel because like I share very useful information that can help with your personal growth.
Yeah.
And also I share about getting like assistantships in the US, you know.
Yeah.
So if that's you, please subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. And also do not forget to subscribe to my channel, because some of you are watching and you have not subscribed. Subscribe to my channel, and do not forget to like this video and share to your friends and family. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.